Hi, this is Mark, and you're listening to Sports, Politics, and Occasionally Cats. Spot. Welcome to our podcast today, where you will learn interesting and funny stories about sports, of course, and occasionally politics, but more importantly, stories about wonderful cats in Emmett's life. We're so glad you're here. You can follow us on all the Instagram sites and Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and wherever you get podcasts. Remember, it's sports, politics, and occasionally cats.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode of
Sports, Politics, and
Occasionally Cats.
Welcome back, everyone. Happy New Year.
We have a great show for you today.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to getting season 2 underway and getting to our second episode. There's a lot to report on. It's been a busy week in sports, college football, and baseball, and football, and my gosh. So, Emmett, where do we want to start?
Should we start with the Royals?
Yeah, that'll be good. It's always good time to talk baseball. How about them Royals?
Yeah, they brought back Q that's what we call him. His real name is
Matt
Quatrero, but we call him Q.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you think he can lead us to the playoffs this year?
I think so. I mean, if you take away his first year with the team when they really weren't that good, he's got us either in the playoffs or close to being in the playoffs, and 2 consecutive seasons with a winning record, which for longtime Royals fans, we all know that's become a rarity of the past 20 years or so. So yeah, I think he's a smart manager. The players respond well to him. He likes Kansas City, and Kansas City likes him, and the players love him. So I think it was a smart, good move, kind of a typical John Sherman move when he's got good talent. He seems to make the effort and put the money to secure that talent. So that's great. I think it's good. I'm excited.
What do you think the record will be this year?
Well, it's always hard to guess, but, we're about a month away from pitchers and catchers, 35 days, something like that. Which is great. It's good to see spring coming. So, but to your question, what do I see as their record? So last year, they were 82-80, which I'd like, if they could get a good 5 or 6 games above that, I'd be happy. So let's go 88-74.
Okay, you're saying about what I'm going to say. My guess is 89-73 with making the wild card, and who knows, maybe off note, maybe the Tigers will have another 15.5 game collapse, and we'll get the division this year.
Yeah, so we get the Tigers to do another big choke collapse, and the Royals not have a bad month of June where they only won 1 home game. Yeah, we could 87-88 wins. 90 would be better. We could run for the Central Division title. But I'm with you. I think at a minimum, I think it's looking good. They've made some improvements to improve on last year's schedule, and this time make it into the playoffs, probably as a wild card, as you suggest. So that'd be great. What do you think of their moves in the offseason? They've made a few trades. They signed Matt Q to a long-term or 3-year deal.
Yeah, it was probably. I don't have a problem with them trading away Zerpa because, I mean, Zerpa wasn't maybe the best pitcher we had. We had a lot better Estevez, and then I mean,
he did lead the league in saves last year, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with them trading away Zerpa. You have to, you kind of have to trade players to build a championship team, so I don't have a problem with them getting rid of Zerpa.
Well, you've got to give up something to get something.
That's
and they got a pretty good looks like a good corner outfielder, which they needed. He's a bit unproven, was 4th in the American League Rookie of the Year. So hopefully he can come in and do well. I think he's left-handed bat.
Who?
The new guy they got from Milwaukee. Gosh, I can't believe it. We aren't remembered his names. We didn't do our homework for our podcast, Emmett. But anyway, I think the Royals have improved in the outfield. They've got a good platoon situation with Lane Thomas coming in from the free agency, I think. Or did they trade for him? No, they picked him up. Anyway, however they got him. So I think they've addressed part of that, and then they brought back a good pitcher from Philadelphia. So I think we're in pretty good shape.
What if the Royals get Aaron Judge or something?
That ain't going to happen.
That'd be pretty awesome though if we got Aaron Judge.
Yeah, well, first of all, he signed to a long-term deal, so that's not going to happen. And even if he wasn't, I don't think we could afford his salary. He's
How much would he cost?
about what we're paying the whole team.
I mean,
And you can't play with just one player, so that's not going
mean-
to happen. It would be sweet, though.
I mean, they can restructure Witt and Salvy's contracts a little bit.
Well, that restructuring would look like they get rid of both of them, and I don't want to see them do that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so I think picking up Matt Strom from Philly was a good move for Jonathan Bolin. Maybe that'll give Jonathan a fresh start, but I don't think we lost a whole lot there. The Zerpa trade, to get Isaac Collin and Nick Mears, I thought was a pretty good return, frankly. We got a pitcher with some potential. We gave up, it's hard to get left-handed relievers, but I think we had to do that. And Isaac Collins, I think, has got potential to be a pretty good hitter.
Yeah.
So I think all that is a good move in the offseason. Plus, as we know, they signed Michael and Cal and Salvi to contracts, so we've kind of got them locked in.
I have a feeling this might be Salvy's last contract of his career, quite honestly. I mean, Salvy's getting, it's the nicest way. Salvy's getting kind of old to play baseball, I feel like, and he's not, as someone else put it, and I won't name names, but I've heard some people say that Salvi doesn't run as fast as he used to, and
Salvi was never known for base running,
and that makes sense. And that makes sense because, like, whenever I'm at a game and he gets on base, I always put in someone for him. It feels
not
like
all the time, but in a late inning game with down one run and Salvi gets on second, you got a catcher on the bench. You're going to pinch run for him, that's for sure. And Salvi knows that. He's a smart guy. He knows everything going on. So, yeah, I think the Royal season looks pretty promising. I guess the only we have some player moves that might be nice. I don't think the Royals are done yet, but they may be waiting closer to spring training. But I think the big bit of unfinished business is where are they going to build the stadium now? One theory is that the bonds in Kansas, it had an expiration date at the end of the year, so that could indicate maybe, but I'm not going to make any bold predictions with the Royals stadium selection, that they'll stay on the Missouri side, which I certainly hope they do. So we'll see, but that's kind of the one big remaining question mark going into spring training.
I mean, I'll be honest, and I'll be honest. If
I hope you're always honest on our podcast, Emmett.
I mean, thanks. If the Royals stay. If the Royals stay on the Missouri side, I'm fine with that. I, in my opinion, having one on the Kansas side, one on the Missouri side is a fair compromise. What I don't want is the Royals to go north of the river, because we already travel like 20 minutes to get to a game at this point, and to go north of the river would be like a 30-minute drive.
I think it'd be doable, but that's my number two choice is north of the river. I'm pushing for downtown.
What? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm pushing for downtown. Hope they can make it happen.
What I'd like them to personally do, and it's kind of selfish, because I like where the current stadium is. Now the Chiefs are going across the state line, knock down Arrowhead, build a new stadium there, and then we can have the Royals where they are right now. And I mean, because I'll be honest, I very much like the Truman Sports Complex. Is it like way out of downtown and basically in rural Missouri? Yes. Is there plenty of parking and that parking allows us to tailgate during the home opener? Yes, honestly.
Yeah, I think you voiced the sentiments of a lot of Royals and Chiefs fans, for that matter, who are going to miss the tailgating experience for certainly the Chiefs and for the Royals as well.
My main criteria for the new stadium is I want parking so we can tailgate because our family has a tradition of tailgating during the home opener, and I kind of want to continue that. So I don't I don't care too much about where the stadium is. I just want parking so we can tailgate.
I think they'll find a way to do tailgating. It just may not be in a parking lot. Yeah, that's always fun, and we do it throughout the season sometimes, which is good. But so we'll see where it goes. So, Royals, spring training just around the corner, but right now we're into playoffs. The NFL playoff pictures shaped up after that exciting game with Pittsburgh and Baltimore Sunday night. That was a great game. Who called the missed field goal, Shank right?
So we were watching that game, and I said, watch him shank it to the right or something. I don't remember exactly what I said, and then 5 seconds later,
not even 5 seconds. Yeah, he kicked it, and you were like,
it's like,
I was right.
It was like, who called it?
Yeah.
Being real.
Yeah, no joke. That was a fun game to watch. So we got the playoffs coming with the road to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, we can talk a little bit about the Chiefs. They're way out of the playoffs this year. Just about everything that could go wrong for the Chiefs did go wrong. They lost some key players to injury, not to mention Patrick Mahomes and Gardner Minshew. So they kind of got through the last, 3 or 4 games of the season with the third string, their third string quarterback and a late signee off of Buffalo's practice squad, Shane Buechele. So, they were kind of limping to the finish line this year. And, they had other injuries across the offensive line. They couldn't keep people healthy there. And just the calls didn't go their way. They missed a lot of passes. I think the Chiefs' offense had become pretty darn predictable by defenses around the league. And they just didn't have the same magic they had before. And what did we get? A 6-11 record.
Yeah.
And the number 8 or 9 pick in the draft. So.
Yeah. Side note, I was really hoping the Raiders wouldn't get the number 1 pick because they're going to go after for Fernando Mendoza, and I really don't want to have to deal with him twice a year.
Yeah, that might be a good point. But I think given the current status of the Las Vegas Raiders, we can count on them not to lose the opportunity to have the first pick, which means bad football. But they beat us in the last game, but I think Andy was trotting out a lot of players, getting them on the field to see how they play in an NFL game, get some film on them, see who the second and third tier players are on the current roster, and get a little game action on them and try and figure out if they have a future with the team going into the offseason. It'll help them shape up the draft a little bit. They'll have more time to get ready for the draft, at least the coaches will.
Yeah.
So let's see. It's going to be an important offseason for them. I think they need to make some changes, both in personnel and players, and they got some cap issues. So it's going to be a pretty dynamic spring for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and maybe they can – I'm really hoping Mahomes comes back. If we can have him back week 1, that'd be great. But I also understand the fact that if we rush him back week 1 and he gets injured 5 plays into the game, we're cooked for next year too. So ideally week 1, but I'd be fine if it came back week 5. The problem with that is we might be 0-4 at that point and digging ourselves out of a hole.
We'll see. Yeah, it goes back to what the offseason brings. Who they, Gardner Minshew would be the obvious backup quarterback, but he's had serious knee injury too. So they're going to have to go find somebody and see who's ready to go. Knowing Patrick, though, he's putting all 110%. All his effort into getting better and healthy so he can be ready for the season opener. But I'm like you, if he's out 3 or 4 games, just to make sure he's 100% healthy, I'd vote in that. And I think, if the Chiefs play their cards right and get the right kind of players, a good running back, kind of broaden the offense a little bit, I would be optimistic that they could hold their own going into the first 3 or 4 games of the season, even without Patrick.
Do you know what the Chiefs could do? I mean, they could pilfer Will Howard off the Steelers QB squad and have him be our starting quarterback.
We'll see.
Because Will Howard has something that Chris Oladokun and Shane Buechele don't, a college football playoffs national title.
Oh yeah, that's right. With Ohio State. Do you know where he started?
K-State.
Go Purple Eaters. So what's your prediction for the playoffs? We got first games coming up, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, evening. It's an interesting field. The more I kind of looked at it, kind of prepping for the show, I mean, I think any of the teams, obviously, in the playoffs have a chance to make it. I don't think there's a real outlier thinking, oh my gosh, how are they in there? Are they going to do it? I mean, I think some of the teams, when you look at the teams like the 49ers and the Buffalo Bills and the Eagles and New England, they've got good, strong, established coaches and players. They might have an edge, certainly Denver with Sean Payton. But I think any of these teams, as they say, on any given day could make a bit of a run for the playoffs. What do you think?
Yeah, and I've been hearing all kinds of sports talk, like saying this is the year for Buffalo to make a push. There's no Lamar Jackson. There's no Mahomes. I've been hearing this is the year that the Bills, like, if they don't get it this year, they're not going to get it at all. Is what I've been hearing. Of course, the problem with their season is for the first time since 2019, they haven't won the division, which means road game, Super Bowl, and playing on the road is 1,000 times more difficult than having home field at their now defunct stadium.
Soon to be defunct. Well, they don't play any more games there, but yeah, I'm with you. I think it's Buffalo's to win. They had kind of a choppy year. I mean, first, New England was just so much vastly improved. But they had a couple tough games that, they took a licking. But I agree. If Josh Allen wants to get that ring, this is the year for him to kind of double down and make it happen. So we'll see. Sentimental favorite for me would be to see them make it, just because they've got a history of not winning in the playoffs in big games, and certainly not winning the big Super Bowl after going to it 4 years in a row, not being able to pull one of them out. Yeah. So, there's a little bit of get that monkey off their back, which would be nice to see. Who are the other teams you're thinking are going to be strong?
Let's see. I mean, the Broncos, I think the Broncos are going to go deep this year. Now, are they going to win the whole thing? I mean, it's very hard to win the whole thing, and Bo Nix doesn't have a whole lot of playoff experience. I'm not going to say Bo Nix is going to make it. Just there are some teams I don't want to win it. Like, one is the 49ers, and it's kind of a selfish reason because the game is in their stadium this year, and I don't like it when the two teams are playing and one of those teams plays at the stadium that the game is at. I don't like that. like that really made it so the Chiefs lost in 2020. If that game had been not at Raymond James Stadium, we would have won that game. I guarantee it.
I'm not sure I'd go guarantee. They lost that game because they didn't have anything on the offensive line and they got eaten alive.
And it also didn't help.
We've seen how bad offensive line play affects the Chiefs in the Super Bowl twice now.
And it also didn't help that Mahomes is. Then I think I'm pretty sure he and Brittany were married. Anyway, it didn't help that she was having a baby during that game too. It didn't help.
Let's not pin that on her having a baby.
I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm just saying that
Patrick had a role in that.
Having that in the back of his mind,
or wondering what was going on.
Having that in the back of his mind affected the way he played. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to blame it on her or anything.
Just pulling your chin. You're okay, buddy. Anyway. Yeah, we'll see. I think I would put both of those things aside about where they played it and what was going on in Patrick's personal life to the side. I think it was that they had injuries at left tackle and they got eaten alive just like last year. So who else? I think you're right. Sean Payton's a Super Bowl winning coach. He's got a good quarterback behind him. I think he's led Denver out of the wilderness, done pretty effectively. Nice job in Denver. They've had a little trouble. They've got a lot of fourth quarter games they've had to pull out at the last minute, which doesn't
Giants.
Yeah, right, exactly. The Giants. which, that's not kind of what you want going into the Super Bowl, but, everything's different in the playoffs. I think New England's well coached, got a young quarterback, not overly dominating, but they had a great season, but they were playing a losing team's schedule from the prior year. So they could be pretty strong. And then you've got the Rams, and the Seahawks have been pretty strong in the NFC too. So I think all those teams are probably leaders of the pack.
So which team's your pick to win it all?
Well, so I have my sentimental favorite, as I mentioned earlier. Bills, get the monkey off your back. But who do I think will really win?
Wow.
I think I'm probably leaning towards the Rams, just given their coach and their quarterback Matt Stafford having a close to MVP season. I think when it comes down to the wire, that's the team to beat.
Well, I originally said Jacksonville, but I think I'd rather bet on like a 1 seed, honestly, because and I'm more partial toward 1 seeds because you have home field in all the playoff games. If the Jaguars win against the Bills, then it's gonna be a road game. And yes, Trevor Lawrence is good and he's beat high caliber teams, but winning 2 straight road games on a road isn't easy. So give me the Seahawks.
That was one of my teams too. So we'll see. Yeah, it'll be interesting. By this time next week, when we hopefully are back recording episode 3, we might be like, okay, none of those teams we rooted for won. Go Bears!
The Bears.
The Bears. By the way, the Bears Packers game will be a good one to watch. All of them will be good to watch.
And the Packers are actually somehow favored in that game, even though the game's at Soldier Field and they're a 7 seed. Somehow they're still favored.
Yeah, I think that's just a rookie coach and quarterback. But yeah, we'll see. Well, Emmett, we covered a lot today. We got baseball. We talked about players. We talked about managers, the upcoming schedule. This has been a big predictive episode. We put our records out for the Royals going into next year. We'll have to see how well that comes out. We did our picks for the Super Bowl. I reserve the right to change my mind next week after this weekend's games. But before we go out, any kind of current events or anything we need to talk about? It's a new year, off to a good start.
Well, there's one.
Best wishes for the new year to everyone.
Yeah. I was thinking we talk about like good events from 2025 that happened.
Yeah.
So one came to my mind is Travis and Taylor are engaged now.
Oh, that's good news. Yeah.
What I'm really hoping is they have the wedding at Arrowhead, and then they can like charge tickets and people can come in and watch them get married. Like in the stands. Wouldn't that be awesome?
It'd be interesting. I don't think the two of them are going to be up for that. I predict a small family gathering with close friends.
And also Mahomes.
And close friends on a remote island somewhere in the Caribbean or South Pacific. Who knows? And then I'm sure it'll be the talk of the town in 2026.
Well, if that doesn't happen, can Travis at least wear his jersey and pads during the wedding?
Obviously, you haven't gotten married before. Travis is
when I get married, I'm going to wear my Bobby Witt Jr. jersey.
Okay, we'll see how that goes. Better marry a Royals fan. But if Travis is a smart husband to be, he will wear what his soon wife to be tells him to wear. I'm sure they'll have a lot of people helping them out with that decision. Yeah, happy for both of them. That's a big, exciting thing. Who would have thought that 2 years ago when he tried to get her telephone number and she's like, who's he, kind of thing. So I'm happy to see him happy, which is good. I think, the good thing on a personal level, we've got all our family back in town. So all the brothers and the grandbaby are all back here. So we're having fun with that. That was a good news for me. And we got our podcast up and got it running. Thank you for all our subscribers and followers.
And one last good current event. I found my dream job at the Golden Scoop.
Yep.
And I've loved every second of working there. It's a lot it's a lot of fun to work there, and I'm so glad I found that place.
Yep, good people, good ice cream. So check out the Golden Scoop. It's one of our favorite places to go. So that's our highlights for 2025. Here's for another great 2026. Go Royals. Good luck, Chiefs. But before we sign off on our episode, Emmett, I want to just set up that you have finally found time and you've interviewed our special guest. And it's, sports, politics,
and occasionally cats.
So we're going to work the occasionally cats thing a little harder here. Stay tuned at the end of this episode with Emmett and I, and you'll see a special interview with Miss Dana, our wonderful cat mom. And she's going to have some cat stories to share about Emmett and Dana's favorite cat. That would be
Oreo,
yeah, our tuxedo cat. God rest her little
Manx cat
soul. But stay tuned after this episode, or follow on to this part of our segment of our episode. You'll get to see Emmett and Dana talk about cats, which I know you've all been looking forward to with bated breath. So follow up. Here's the interview. Take care. Remember to
like, share, and subscribe to our podcast as it helps fuel our mission to be as popular as the Kelsey brothers.
And thank you to all those of you who have subscribed. Please spread the word about sports, politics,
and occasionally cats. Our goal is to get to about 50 subscribers by the time school starts next fall.
Perfect. Like to have goals. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye. Hello, and welcome back to our episode of Sports, Politics, and Occasionally Cats. Today we have a special guest for you, our cat lady mom, to talk about my favorite cat, sorry Twiggy, Oreo, and about her life and some events that happened, like when she was thrown in the snowbank.
Okay, yeah, well.
So Mom, take it away.
Oreo was an amazing cat. She was a tuxedo cat. She was also a Manx cat, meaning that she intentionally was bred without a tail. So she didn't really have a tail. Lovely cat, very intelligent, lots of different meows. But anyway, just a little bit about her history. The Haig family, not us, adopted her some time ago. And she was living under a porch in a rural area of Grain Valley, Missouri. So she had very humble beginnings, but they took her home and gave her a nice home. She became an indoor-outdoor cat, and she was also declawed. And she was kind of very independent and would roam around the neighborhood. And she liked to interact with dogs. She would play with dogs, kind of. And it was a great cat. The family loved her. Emmett and I joined the family in 2015. And at that time, Oreo made a huge move from the house that she had always lived in to a house in Overland Park. So she jumped the state line, and she had kind of a traumatic experience. Her daddy, Mark, was trying to get her in a cat carrier to move her. And what happened, Emmett?
She scratched him, bit him, and peed on him all at once.
It was, I think it traumatized both of them. And so I intervened, being a cat lady. I said, something's not being done right or something. I don't know, not to say that it wasn't being done right. But so I intervened and I got her in a cat carrier with the help of a real estate agent who didn't want to help me, but did. And we got her moved to Overland Park, and she became an indoor cat on that day. I put my foot down and said she's an indoor cat for the rest of her life. And she actually adjusted to the house really well and to the family. Initially, how did you feel about Oreo, Emmett?
At first, I wasn't a big fan of her because I wasn't really a cat person. But as time went on, she became my cat buddy, and we became very close.
Yeah, Emmett used to not want the cat around. Miss Oreo would go in his room after he went to bed at night, and he's like, "Get that cat out of here." Well, eventually we had a Christmas tree up, didn't we? And she started laying under the Christmas tree in your room, and you really liked that. And from there, you kind of became buddies. And when you were studying, you had to study at home every night, do homework. And where would she be?
She'd be on top of my backpack.
Mhm.
And I don't remember exactly, but she probably did what she did with Joe. She used to like sit on his books and bat his pencil
Mhm.
every once in a
Or
while.
she'd lay on the table where you were
Mm.
studying, whatever. She was just a great companion, and she truly did have a special bond with you. And she didn't seem to mind not going outside. She was a very happy cat. And as her daddy Mark would say, she never had it so good.
Yeah.
And we would play with her. And what kind of, she liked cardboard boxes, didn't she?
Yeah, we have a few famous pictures of her in cardboard boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a little like string of lace for her too, and we'd play with her like that. She had little toys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but did she have any sicknesses later in life?
Well, yeah. So we made another move in like 2016. We moved to this house. 2017. Okay, this house, and that move went really smoothly because we knew her really well at that point. And she adjusted to this house really well. And she was getting older at this point. We didn't know her exact age, but I think she was 12 or so when we got into this house.
Yeah.
And she started losing some weight at some point. Anyway, we took her to the vet and found out she had diabetes. So we had to start giving her insulin, and we did that for a couple of years before she passed. But let's talk about some big events in her life. You mentioned this being thrown in a snowbank. Now, that was not on our watch. That would not have been allowed to happen. But what did we hear?
And we won't name names of who did it because that's going to make people look bad if we say anything.
We just want everyone to know it was neither one of us.
So I don't know the whole story because each time it's been told I've been half paying attention because ADHD. Anyway, well, apparently the way I understand it, Oreo was annoying one of the people in the Haig household, and I
Do you
get
remember what day it was?
Snowy day.
It was Christmas, I think.
It's Christmas day.
A snowy Christmas day.
That's good. That's a good Christmas present. Anyway, she was annoying someone, so they opened the door, threw her into the snowbank, and I think that would never have happened if the cat whisperer. We used to call her the cat whisperer when we had Oreo, and later in life, Oreo. By the time Oreo was 15, we called her Double Stuff because she was she was a very wide cat.
She had a lot of fur.
a lot of natural padding, as we'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And
she had a very special meow. Do you remember what we would call it?
I am cat.
I am cat. Yes.
Yeah.
She'd be down here in the basement meowing, usually after she ate, and we could hear her all the way upstairs, and it was like, I am cat.
And let's see. She lived with another dog besides our dog named Coco, one of the previous Haig dogs. Well, Coco would take a nap, I guess, in the study, and she'd come over and she'd bat at his nose. So Coco would stand up, put her in her mouth, walk her all the way across the house, and spit her out. And she would do that over and over again.
Yeah.
And we actually can I tell about when we put her to sleep. Is that not allowed?
You can talk about that.
So we actually put her to sleep the day one of my brothers, again won't name names, graduated from college, and so that's kind of how I remember his graduation, in all honesty, is because that's the day I lost my best friend. And then I just remember I am probably the one that took it the hardest because I had my end of year conference at my high school, and I just blurted out one point that my favorite cat passed away, and this was the cat I used to write about in every writing exercise in my English class. Like every class I'd find some way to work her into it. Anyway, so I got a signed card from all the teachers. What was your favorite memory with Oreo?
Yes, so that card you got when your school found out that your cat buddy had died, every single teacher
Yeah.
wrote you a very sweet note in a sympathy card. It's like the nicest card I think I've ever seen in my life.
And I probably got it somewhere.
You do have it somewhere.
Somewhere in the recesses of my room.
Yeah. And also just to note, Oreo had she had the diabetes, but she was not eating and was having some internal issues, and they did some testing, and basically it was more humane to let her go to sleep because the next step was like exploratory surgery, and they didn't know if they did that, if they could help her in any way, and they thought she had some internal bleeding, and so we just decided to let her rest. And what did we do though to honor her memory?
So we had a little funeral for her in our backyard. We found a cat statue. Now we tried our best to find one that was tailless, but we couldn't find one like that. So we had to get a little stone cat statue that had a tail, but covered a tail so that it was what looked like a Manx. And we got a box of her ashes, put it in the backyard, and the whole family took turns burying her ashes. And we went inside and we had a double stuffed Oreo. So she still lives in our backyard.
Yeah, it's a nice memory.
Yeah.
But anyway,
And now we have Twiggy, who thinks she's better than us.
we can do a segment on Twiggy sometime, and we could actually have her and show her markings or something. That'd be kind of fun, I think. I mean, that would be fascinating. But anyway, yeah. So that's Oreo for you. And
thanks for tuning into our extended podcast. Please like, share, subscribe to our podcast. As it helps fuel our mission to be as popular as the Kelsey brothers. We will have this episode out by the end of this week, and then we'll record another episode or two before I have to stop for my spring semester. Thanks, and have a wonderful January. Bye.
Hey, this is Mark, and thanks for joining us today on Sports, Politics, and Occasionally Cats. SPOC. What a great show we had today, Emmett. Those were wonderful stories. I can't wait to follow up and listen again on all the usual sites where you get podcasts. Go to Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you find your podcast. And it's SPOC. Sports, Politics, and Occasionally Cats. Wow, that's a great, funny story we had about that cat today, Emmett. Thank you so much for listening, and we look forward to hearing you on our next show.